All right, everybody. We will be speaking about why your average friends are your biggest liability. Your average friends you got right now today is your biggest liabilities. And let's break it down, okay? I'm going to give y'all a specific type of person that y'all got to remember and put in the comments, okay? But walk with me. So, your friends that you have, a lot of people say, show me your friends and I will show you your future. I will show you where you're going, right? That has to be nuanced because a lot of times there can be that friend, there can be that dude, there can be that girl who is the most useful and resourceful friend, right? So she or he is more of the light of the group. Let's say it's a group of three, right? Let's use three. It's a group of three, and he or she is the more light-hearted and the light-bearing friend. So the other two friends are, co-pilots. Okay. So one of them obviously watches the left mirror, other one watches the right, but none of them is more important than the other, obviously, right? But they're just hanging on. They're just hanging on. And over time, you kind of notice, like, wait a minute. Y'all don't actually know how to fly a plane. Nor did you ever ask, nor have we ever talked about it, nor have you brought it up about like how I know, or like when did I learn how to start flying, or why did I learn how to start flying. You just kind of like just hopped on, right? Because you get free flights and you just with me, and like, you never really asked. So it's like, damn, it's like that. Like, you just, the best analogy is Thanksgiving, right? It's a supper, it's a feast. Food, slamming, smelling good, kitchen smelling good, music, vibrations is on point. It's in your kitchen. All the food is in your kitchen. It's your crib. And your friends come over with they to-go plates, with they Tupperware. Wait, that's what you brought? You ain't bring no forks, no cups, no drinks, no cakes, no pies, no stuffing, no napkin, nothing? You brought Tupperware for yourself. So it's people that come to the feast with their hand out and a mouth open. Ready to eat, ready to get something, rather than give. Because it's not about the duration, like you give first, then you get. It's not about that, because you can get something and then give later on. Like, it's not an IOU situation. It's not a faulty banking system, right? You can get and get and get and then give a big, or just give something, but it's not about that. Yes, there is checks and balances in the universe, but that's a different story, right? But your friends who come to the feast with a Tupperware, they hand out and they mouth open, ready to eat, ready to drink some, but they didn't bring nothing to attribute the party, the feast. Oh, liability. Liability. You obviously want assets on your team. You want people that's really going to know what they're looking at when they're looking in the rearview mirror. You want friends who can switch places. You want a friend who can drive the car. You want a friend who can fly the plane, because you can fly the plane, obviously, and drive the car. You want a friend who could also do those things. They're good at directions. They're maybe not so good with like water, right? Whatever. They have their faults, but in the main things on this voyage, we can interchange. It's interchangeable, right? I have skills and attributes and attitudes that is signature to me. My brothers, they have we all have things that are similar in our social skills, in our energy, in our character, but they individually have different things than I. That's how it's supposed to. But You're not going to mischaracterize your friends. I'm not going to hang on my brother's coattails like, oh, I'm going to just ride with you all the time, nigga. I'm going to give you some gas. I don't got my license, and it'll be dumb for me to drive because I don't got my license. And y'all be smoking. I don't smoke, but y'all be smoking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just drawing a big picture for y'all. You see what I'm saying? Your average friends is killing y'all's success, bro. But here's the thing. Going back to you being the light bearer, the most resourceful of the bunch, of the friends. Be glad and grateful that you are useful. Let's say you're 18 right now, you're 21, you're 25, you're 30. Be grateful that you can be useful, because those who understand your worth and they know your skills, they know what they're looking at when it comes to you, you will be, opportunities will flow to you like no tomorrow. They will flow an abundant amount of gifts and money and opportunities and experiences that if you would have shut that down because you got average friends who just hanging on to you and weighing you down, if you would have tucked that away, you wouldn't have got blessed the way that you getting blessed now. But be grateful that you are useful, just as long as they don't misuse your character. They don't misuse your spirit, right? Now, here's the person that I want to speak about. That is, oh my gosh, this person is so, it makes me, This person you really need to look out for, because there's a lot of them spawning, and it stems from nihilism. And the person we're going to speak about is a contrarian. Write that down, a contrarian. Now, a contrarian is a person that essentially can never have a beginning or an end, can never say anything, and nobody can say anything about what they said. So here's an example. Damn, JB, I like the tank top you got on. Oh yeah, thanks, bro. I got it from Target, man. It's $20. Nah, but it's not even about the money. It's about like how it looks. Yeah, it looks cool. Nah, but it's not about really the look. It's about like how it shines, like with the light, like the white. Like, why didn't you do black? Because they didn't have black. Like, I just didn't want black at the time, you know? And they didn't have it anyway, so I wouldn't. But like, you could have went somewhere else. Like I'm saying, you could have went somewhere else and got the black if that's what you really wanted. You see, it's exhausting. A contrarian has no way of having an actual like banter, conversation, semi-help. Like, it's exhausting, bro. It's exhausting. Being around a contrarian, they're so saddened with life. Nobody can tell them about life, if that makes sense. They're so saddened with themselves, the world, which stems from themselves, that they're not going to accept anything on a small level. It's not nothing big. They're not going to accept anything that somebody else says about life. It could be about it could be about anything. Anything. They're never gonna agree. It's always gonna, they're always gonna, it's like they can never say how they truly feel. Like a narc, They're never gonna say how they truly feel, because it's always like, no, that's not exactly what I mean. They don't even know exactly what they feel, what they mean. But if you say something that's very similar to how they feel, they're gonna move the goalposts. They're gonna turn and just keep turning. That's exhausting. Imagine being in a conversation with somebody and you gotta look them dead in their eyes when they're twirling around in the chair. How can you look at me when I'm twirling? You right here. How can you look at me? How can you look at my eyes? I'm twirling. How can you look at me in the eyes? I'm twirling. You see what I'm saying? That's the contrarian. So if you have a friend or know someone who is like that, yo, God bless them. Oh, shit. God bless them. Because it is nuts. It's nuts. So, the average friends that you have, I'm never an advocate for ghosting or blocking someone, like on your phone, blocking them. I'm not an advocate for that, because energy, it never lies, ever. If you are really rising and doing the work, you are changing your outlook on the world. Once you change the way you see things, things you see change. So you don't gotta cut them off. You don't gotta block them. You don't gotta send them a long text like, I don't think we should be da 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 no more. They feel it. They feel how you moving. They feel how you elevating, and it's quick. Light travels very fast. We only see 0.01% with these pupils right here, bro. But with this eye, you see this eye right here, and it's not a pimple. Don't get it messed up. This is not a pimple here. See that eye? Sees all things. Or I'm gonna say, well, no, it actually does, but it travels faster. So it's able to see energy, light, electromagnetics, the field of light, the spectrum of light, the wavelength of light and vibration quicker. And you don't got to be fully tapped in to feel when someone is really like moving funny or doing something different and changing their wardrobe and changing their hairstyle and, going to different places now. Like, what's up with that? Yep. I'm changing my world right in front of you. And guess what? They see, they stalk, they watch, they know what's going on. They can choose to elevate with you, or they are blocked. Spiritually, they are blocked because they cannot go into the elevator, because you got to have a certain frequency to get into an elevator like this to elevate. And that's nobody's fault but theirs. Nobody's. So, I'll never tell you cut them off. JB, what should I do? Should I cut them off? Should I? Nah. You really got to do the work though. Don't lie to yourself, because if you still average with them, then don't be just chapping your gums just to. It's like, because I'm also a firm believer, if you really don't like what you're doing, stop doing it in all aspects. You don't like the car, you don't like the crib, you don't like the treatment, you don't like the job, you don't like the money. Ask for, or don't, stop working there. Stop working there. You could always get another job, but you only got one you. You only got one heart, one spirit in this vessel. One. I'm a firm believer in that. So I'm just giving you guys a elevated perspective on why your average friends are your biggest liability. So do with that information what you will.